Welcome everyone to an exclusive interview we have here tonight on the New Lebanon TV. I'm here with Nicolas Chikhani, and he is an incredible human who has done some incredible work here today. This is an exclusive piece of news. He has officially submitted the economic recovery plan to Parliament tonight, and I'd like to welcome you to the show. How are you today?
Thank you very much.
I want to first tell everyone who you are, because many people, especially in the diaspora, might not know your name, but they will today. Nicolas is a banker, and he is very well versed in economics and finance. He studied in various prestigious institutions, and he has done a lot of work in economics, and in the banking sector within Paris, London, Singapore, Dubai, Beirut, and Geneva, to name a few. He has 29 years of experience plus in this area, and he's served executive level positions in regional banking in Switzerland. He also has done work in various global NGOs, and what's most important here is he has no party affiliation.
No party affiliation.
And you advocate also a lot for ethics and integrity, which is so importantly needed here in this country. Thank you so much for your time today and for putting in all of that work to that economic recovery plan.
I have just one thing to add.
Please do.
Of which I'm very, very proud. You know, I did so many studies in my life, but I'm proud of one small certificate, which is an anti-corruption manager. I've been certified anti-corruption manager by the American Institute of Anti-Corruption. I'm very proud of this certificate.
I'm proud of that too, actually. We need this. Anti-corruption. All we talk about in Lebanon, fasad, and that is the barrier to getting to where we want to be.
Yes.
So first my question is, this plan, do you believe that it could possibly solve the economic crisis here in Lebanon?
Listen, in fact, for the last 3 years, the government hasn't done anything. They have proposed two plans. The first one was not adapted to the country and needed some more improvement, but it fell down. The second one is a catastrophe, because the latest plan that is being negotiated today with the IMF is based on a principle of having the Central Bank of Lebanon defaulting on its banks, the banking sector, and by doing so, it will do a direct or indirect haircut on $70 billion of deposit money, depositors. So, in fact, the plan that is proposed is a heresy, economical heresy that will kill trust across the system. Today, every economic 101 student, knows that if you want to build economy, you build trust and confidence first. So this plan is killing the trust and the confidence forever in a country where we have a huge economic crisis and where we want to build credibility again, internal and external. So we decided after some time with lots of friends and Association of Depositors that you will meet soon, that we need to react. We cannot be anymore on a reaction, but we have to be proactive and propose something. So for the last 5 months we've been working on a plan, an economic plan that I can show you here. Okay, this is the Arabic version. We have a French English one as well.
Can the public access this plan?
Absolutely, we will be sending it to everybody by tonight, in fact, because this morning was a scoop. We printed, in fact, 128 copy. We spent our night. That's why I'm maybe pale today, because I haven't slept for no time.
Looking great.
Thank you. So nice.
You know what? This needs to happen, right? We can't sleep.
And we spent our night, copying, stampling, and putting in envelopes. And this is an example of the envelope that was sent to 128 parliamentary.
And when did they receive this? This morning?
This morning at 9 a.m. In fact, and
before the presidential.
Yes, it was the last session today before Christmas leave.
And what can the public expect to see in this plan that might be different than maybe other plans proposed before?
It's very simple. The principle of the plan is to protect depositor money as a base. So we start with this base, and in this going there. In fact, the plan will go into a full restructuring of the system and accountability of the system and distribution of losses fairly across the people who made these losses and properly happening in Lebanon. It's not about saying on an Excel sheet, okay, this is a depositor problem, goodbye guys. Why the depositor for 20 years financed the system. The money in Lebanon is coming from depositors, not coming from the balance of payment, because the balance of payment was deficitary for 12 years. So the only way to finance the country was through deposit. And now they take the money of the depositors, they spend the money of the depositor, through corruption, through mismanagement, so whatever you call it, okay? And at the end, to solve the problem, I default on the depositor the way the state defaulted on the Eurobond a couple of years back. It's a financial crime against the population and against the country. And what's crazy is that these people is hiding behind the IMF saying this is what the IMF wants. I'm not sure the IMF wants to have a haircut on $70 billion. Okay, imagine, you know, the French government or the American government say, I'm gonna default on 70 or 80% of the population deposit. Imagine what will happen. It's unbelievable. Okay, 70% of the Americans losing their money in the banks. Would it something be sensible? Impossible. So today, this is the plan in Lebanon. So we have proposed an alternative plan using classical economic concept that took place in the past, such as the concept of good bank, bad bank, or bridge bank. This is what happened in 1993 in the Crédit Lyonnais in France, where the Crédit Lyonnais had a problem, so they create something, the bad bank. Or in 2008, when UBS had problem with the economic crisis of 2008, and they create the deposit recovery fund. So you don't cut the bad assets, you put them in a separate entity and you recover them through time. By doing so, you give a signal to the market internally and externally to do what? To say the government, the state are protecting the asset, whatever it has, and will do everything in order to recover them back. They might not be recovered immediately, but through time. So this is the main principle of the plan. And this is based on European community, directives. It's based on local laws. So everything is clear in the plan and classified and with notes about from where we took the solution and the rule to build this plan.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, this is about accountability and trust.
Right.
Where can we see parts of this accountability and trust within this plan that might be different than what has always been?
In fact, it's very simple. In the other plans, there is no accountability. There is at no time in any government plan talking about accountability.
What does accountability look like in your plan?
Accountability means that there will be an audit on the banking sector.
By who?
By external international auditors.
And have they agreed?
No. But this is a plan to be voted in the parliament. You need to audit the Ministry of Finance and some other ministry. You need to audit the central bank and you need to audit the banks.
And many Lebanese
we call this the golden triangle. Okay, and because in Lebanon we don't have a Ponzi scheme, as the World Bank is saying. You read the document of the World Bank. No, it's worse. It's a Ponzi system because the scheme is at one place. Today the system has created a Ponzi in order to attract money of depositor, and this money was spent. And in order to solve the problem, no one wants to be accountable. It was the easiest thing to do: cut the depositor money and turn the page. No,
so
today we have rules in Lebanon. We have laws that audit banks, because in the 70s we had some problem with a couple of banks. So the laws are available in order to audit banks. Maybe we need to improve them. That's why also it's proposed in the plan: improve these laws and audit and make everyone accountable when this person made a mistake, either because of corruption or because of mismanagement. Okay, a mistake is a mistake. When you misuse the deposit, depositor is come as like a security when you put it in a bank. Okay, there is a problem. The state has $100 billion of debt. The state balance of payment is deficitary around $20 billion over the last 15 years. The state budget is deficitary around $30 billion over the last 10 years. The central bank today has an internal non-declared loss in dollars, not in Lebanese pound. This is the worst thing, because the central bank of Lebanon doesn't have a printing machine of dollars. They print Lebanese pounds. We are not in America here, but we deal with dollars, unfortunately. And this is a big mistake. Undeclared loss of $72 billion, and the banks has participated in financing the system.
Now, your plan seems wonderful on paper, but when you look at the Lebanese system, we see where the money has been lost, and that's been through banks and through people, many of them politicians, taking that money outside of the country. Now, the people who are going to have to approve this plan are of those same parties. Do you think this plan could possibly come into effect?
Listen, I have a rule in my life. It's not because you cannot make it, you should not try to do it. Okay? And only winners made it to the end, right? So we are here to fight back. Okay, I am sure that in this parliament there are great people, and we count on them. Okay, and maybe the people who didn't do it right, maybe they will feel uncomfortable and don't block it. Okay, in the Brazil we have the same problem. They created something called Lava Jato. Okay, and when you had the problem between HSBC and France, you remember this scandal. Also, there was something called settlement agreement. That means you come and see. Okay, you keep the face. We know that you have done something wrong. We have a fund. Put part of the money in the fund, and we turn the page. But you don't have the right to do politics for 10 years or something like that. Okay, this happens, and we need to reconstitute the trust. Okay, if they don't want to do it, accountability will happen. We have laws. So the most important part in the plan is to create an independent justice, the rule of law, as we say in other countries. You know, there are a few countries in the world that we have a very strong rule of law. For example, Rwanda. Rwanda, you know, they had a huge ethnic war, like in Lebanon. Millions of people died. Now Rwanda is one of the most strong country economically in Africa. The GDP growth around 7% yearly for consecutive years for now, since a few years now. And why? Because they put zero tolerance on corruption.
And
so
is the zero tolerance looked at from outside countries, like you said? Like for example, with this plan, you said that the accountability would come from international law or international people looking at.
The accountability need to start internally. Okay. And this is a difficult one, because the justice in Lebanon is politicized. That means you don't have independence of justice in Lebanon.
But is that accountability
in other countries,
Rwanda?
there are some relation between politics and justice, but here is too much in Lebanon. When you cross a certain level, you don't trust justice anymore. And when you don't have a justice, you don't have a state. When you don't have a state, you don't have credibility, internal and external. So today we need a few things: independence of justice, accountability, and fair reconstitution of deposits across the system in order to create trust and confidence. And we need external confidence by signing with the IMF. Because signing with the IMF will bring foreign direct investment to the countries.
Do you have faith that the IMF will come back into wanting to work with Lebanon, which has failed so many times?
I have faith that we should do it. If we don't do it, we are doomed. So it's time for the politicians in Lebanon. This is a message to them. Please do the right thing for once. Do it for 6 months. And let the country wake up and stand on its feet. It's time. It's time. History will know about what happened, and the children of our children, we know the names of whom failed to do it. Today we have an opportunity. Okay, there is a trend towards IMF. It's good. We are not looking for the $3 billion of the IMF. $3 billion, you will spend it in 3 months, 5 months. Okay, we are looking for other investment that will come with the IMF, like foreign direct investors who will inject money, because IMF will give a signal to the whole world that is an external event that happens in Lebanon, where external trust can be built back in the country. So internal trust by having the state doing the right reforms so that the IMF can be signed. And when the IMF is signed, we get the external trust in the country. So both trust, internal and external, will be coupled in order to recreate the economy. I can tell you, after 3 years, Lebanon is stabilizing. So even without doing anything, Lebanon is stabilizing, because we are getting into a dollarized economy. And when you get into a dollarized economy, every person will earn his salary in dollar. So he can live, he can use, inflation is not hitting them very much anymore, although people are very poor, okay? But they are stabilizing. However, a dollarized economy cannot grow. That means tomorrow your car is broken, you cannot change it because you cannot take a loan to change it. In any country in the world, you want to buy a car or a house, you want to marry someone, right? You want to buy a house. You cannot buy a house. There is no loan. The system, banking system is broken completely. So we need, now that it's stabilizing, we need to create many things on the economy, besides the law, besides the accountability. We need to create a real monetary policy that goes with a real fiscal policy in order to stabilize the balance of payment from one side and the fiscal budget from our side, as well as the currency. When you stabilize the fiscal deficit, the balance of payment, and the currency, you can rebuild the economy. Growth can happen. And very importantly, we need to have this law that is the bank resolution law. Okay? It's not something that I invented, it's known. Okay? It's a regulation in the EU also that describe how it works, in order to recreate a banking system. Retake the banking system and recreate, because the banking system is needed to reignite the economy, to recreate loans, to finance companies and SMEs who are the major recruiters. And when you recruit someone, what will happen? This person will earn money because they have a salary. And when you have money, what do? You spend. And when you spend, what will happen? You will ignite the economy again by consumption, and the economic cycle will grow again. So the plan is not a simple paper. It's a 12 pages of things to do. Okay, items 1, 2, 3, until maybe 100 items. Because when you want to solve an economy, you cannot say, I got some money from tourists. No. An economy is a full ecosystem, holistic ecosystem between import-export, between budget, between deficit, between currency, between people, between consumption, between growth. All these things need to happen at the same time. So you need a leader to do it. We need a leader, and we need an ethical, non-corrupted politicians in order to drive it. Okay, this is the only way. Otherwise, we have a beautiful plan. It will not help much, but we still believe, right? Because we have done it. Yesterday, we saw the picture. We didn't sleep. Okay, we were fighting back the system. We made it happen. And I think lots of parliamentary are very receptive. I have received some phone calls today. They were very happy. They loved the system. They loved the plan. And they said, we need to start digging in it, because this is a real paper where we can start our base. It's a platform for us to start. So I'm very happy. I'm very confident. Never stop the fight. Go to the end and make it happen. Because you have to believe in it. If you don't believe, you never make it. Believe in what you do, and always do what you believe in.
Do what you believe in. Very profound. My last question for you would be, what is your message to the Lebanese person that has lost everything in their bank account, but now you want to reinstate this new system that would involve people putting their money back in banks? Many have lost trust in banks.
Okay.
How will this plan really give them that trust back?
Okay, it's very simple. I'm not doing this fight because I would like to do it. Okay, I have a dual citizenship. I can leave tomorrow morning. I'm doing this fight because every day since I started, and Tariq knows that. Okay, since I started, I am dealing with depositors. There are people who lost everything, poor people, old people. Many of the old people who live in houses, they don't have enough money to buy bread at the end of the month. Okay, they don't have money to pay back the generator to get electricity, because in Lebanon we don't have electricity, right? So 50 years, I don't know if people knows it. We are one of the only country in the world who doesn't have electricity for 50 years. And for me, not having electricity is an energetic war against Lebanon. You know, you have war with weapons, here you war with energy. Okay, and it will kill productivity, it will increase cost, it will kill the cost of living and the purchase power. It's terrible. So these people are very poor. I receive more than 15 to 20 calls every day. It breaks my heart. So I took it on myself to say, I will fight back the system. I don't know these people. They heard about me. They tried to catch something, some hope. Okay? And the most important, we need to give them hope. The last word of this plan, if you have read it, okay, is the English one. Okay, the last word of this plan. Okay, such a positive momentum will fast-track recovery and prosperity, and most importantly, it will bring back happiness and hope. You need to bring back hope to the people. Okay, if you don't have hope, you don't fight, you die. Okay, you need to see this light at the end of the tunnel. If you don't see the light, they will not get into the tunnel. Not only you need to bring them into the tunnel, to the light, but you have to show them that outside the tunnel from the other side, there is something that can happen. This plan allows them to do it. Now we need people to execute it. And this is my call to the diaspora across the globe, to make all the positive things, to do all the lobbying in the Lebanese, on the Lebanese politics, who they financed or they helped to arrive to reach during the elections, on the parliamentary elections. We need your help to make things right. We still have hope. We count on you for 2,000 years. Every time Lebanon passes through difficulties, 2,000 years, okay? And every time the solution came from the Lebanese diaspora across the globe. And now it's time. We need you again. We need you again to help us. We need you again to set it right. We are here to fight it locally on the ground, and we will not stop. We promise to you to do the right thing. We promise to do the right thing for our people. We promise to you to do the right thing for our country, for your country.
There you have it. And diaspora, it's up to you. Words straight from Nicolas Chikhani. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your hard work. And we hope to see that the amal, the hope, that we have in this country to rise again and to have secure banking. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for spending your time with us today.
Of course. And if you'd like to have more of this very insightful conversations, please follow us here at the New Lebanon TV. And also streaming here is Thawra TV as well. So please give us a follow of support. And we are also on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all social media platforms. Thank you. I'm Ani Kasparian reporting from Beirut.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.